Hey, good day, YouTube. Real quick, do a video discussing a couple of videos I saw yesterday. Seems everybody's on the same tracked mind. Everybody's been playing the same game, if you will, it seems like. But Morgan over at Road Preparedness had a video asking a question about what would you do if you were away from home, and this example was 1,200 miles away, and an EMP hit, and you had $300 was some information you were given of what would you do either to get home or survive, I guess. The big emphasis is on getting home, I think, for most part. Really good discussion, really good thought there to go over and check out the video, maybe leave a comment on your thoughts. But my initial thought here and some discussion on it is first thing to do is sit and think before you run off and try to travel 1,200 miles. Unless you've already got a pre-established plan because of whatever reason you have things pre-established and located and already thought through this scenario for this exact location, you're going to have to take time to plan because 1,200 miles just running into the night is not going to go well for anybody. You're going to have a few things that you've been able to carry or fly with you to wherever this location is, but it's still 1,200 miles away. And my thought with that $300 is you need to find some basic sheltering items, some food gathering, some water gathering material, and whatever other leftovers you might need with that other remaining money. Maybe leave some in pocket to take with you in case it is valuable over the next couple of weeks. But that's really what you're looking at is a multiple week evolution to get back home in this scenario. But with an EMP hitting of that nature and everything is down, if you can buy anything at all, I would focus on those items to have in hand, and acquire a bicycle would be, if I can't acquire a bicycle, there's no way I'm hiking that in any reasonable amount of time, in any reasonable degree of safety. It's going to be hard enough doing it on a bicycle. But that's kind of what I would go through, and I would take the first 72 hours to really evaluate and determine route, how far, what's the route, and what the plan is to get to accomplish it, because to just immediately start hoofing it and leaving town to head that distance is not going to work out well for anybody. And really having it thought out about where my possible water resupply and how I would recapture water and food along that route for the next couple of weeks would be critical to even making it reasonably possible, a little less likely. Even in the most prepared scenario, it is a very difficult proposition in this environment where an EMP has everything down and it's going to go pretty sour pretty quick with all the other people that are out there stranded and are moving who knows how far to get where, and the same amount of panic that could set in for those that are unprepared. Little less you that has been at this location. You're relatively unprepared, but you have at least put some thought into it and know what you're going to buy to accomplish this task, to travel this great distance. So go check out that video by Morgan over there. Also, on the same vein and thought process was ACAS over at Fourth Dimension, was right on the same thing. He put out a video. Do you have a plan? And he was talking about an EMP hitting in a scenario where you're at work, and what do you do? And this scenario is a little more flexible. There's some devices that work, some vehicles work, and he talks about understanding how EMPs can work depending on the size, magnitude, and location and distance of an EMP from your location can really determine what is still available for use electronically or mechanically or otherwise, and that can be critical. But also he gets into trigger points on multiple planning scenarios, not just EMPs, but what is your time that you know you need to go, that you need to enact your plan, basically a trigger point, and knowing that you need to take action immediately to, what I would say is, get through your OODA loop faster than everybody else around you, so that you're quickly making decisions and moving and acting on your plan instead of wondering and trying to figure out what's going on. You can be out there gathering resources, linking up with people, making communications, and making security plans ahead of time before everybody else has even figured out it's time to go to chaos. And he talks about the chaos level a little bit, which is good. And he goes into, you want to avoid Costco's and the Walmarts that everybody else is going to overrun, and maybe you look at that side corner store or dollar store that maybe is not quite as frequented thought about for some of your essential last minute items you may be able to stock up on: canned goods, water, first aid, batteries, anything that, just last minute run to the store. If it is the end of the end all be all, you're going to want to capture and bring in as many of those resources as you can to ensure a degree of survivability, which is never going to be 100%. But that's a good video. Check it out. And he's talking about your plan, and him and Morgan are kind of, it's just kind of funny. People are talking about the same, almost exact same scenario, just you're placed in it in a different location, I guess you would say. It's an EMP. You just have to be at one place versus the other in these two, and you can kind of discuss with them in the comments maybe about what you would do. But I think in particular with Morgan's, it's sit down and make a plan, because unless you have already thought this through, because for some reason you had pre-planned that when you're in this city this far away from home, you've already got resources and things stocked away and a plan to get out of there, you're going to have to sit down and make one. And with ACAS, it's about with your plans, what action do you take, and do you have plans for actions for like an EMP, a Wall Street crash? If Wall Street crashes while you're at work, do you have trigger points to immediately take action so that you can at least have some financial stability, because it's going to go downhill pretty quick after that. Like, dump your money out of your bank as fast as you can in whatever means possible to grab cash or other types of things like that, or any other scenario that you can think of. But like we talk about in a couple other videos, my biggest thing would be establish communication, ensure security, and go down your other key, what you would call hierarchy of needs, I guess: shelter, food, water. Just prioritizing and making sure you have things established and trying to move forward from there, depending on the scenario, whether it's Chinese falling from the sky or not. But go check out those two videos. People are thinking about the same thing, it seems like, but there's lots of other scenarios to talk about. But you'll have a good day, YouTube. Live free.